I want to talk about periods. This is, I'm sure, what every person that menstruates talks about, like on YouTube. Every person that menstruates has a period video, I feel like. Maybe that's just me. Maybe nobody talks about their periods. I feel like people do, especially people who have periods. You just gotta talk about that, like the experiences. Anyway, today I'm gonna talk about some earth-friendly, natural, kind of like less waste approaches to menstruating. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is the pads that I use. I was a pad girl. I am a pad girl. Woo! I was convinced I was only ever going to use pads. I just was resigned to that life of always wearing pads. I was scared of the whole insertable thing, so I just never went down that road. So I used to just buy store-bought pads and wear those, but I've always been more naturally inclined, less waste type of person. I don't like plastics or single-use plastics or things like that. So I was like, what did people do before? So I looked into some cloth pads. You can purchase cloth pads on specialty shops like Etsy. I'm sure you could find them on Amazon now as well. I'll try to find some links and leave them in the description box. But I sewed my own cloth pads. So I will show you what they look like. I'll show you, or kind of walk you through how mine work and the process I went through to make them, or how they are constructed. And I will also leave the pattern for how I made my cloth pads, so that way if you like to sew, or you feel inclined to try out a new project, you can make your own. I think the whole process for making pads cost me $40, and I got a good amount of pads from that. I think I got 10 to 12 pads, which is plenty for me, especially because they are reusable. So yeah. I keep my pads in a shoebox, and I have a whole bunch of all my pads here. I did color coordinate them, so some of them are purple and some of them are pink. This is a winged pad, so in terms of getting it to stay in place in your undergarments, you would just snap that underneath in the middle. Material on top of the pad is a jersey kind of wicking material to wick away the moisture from the skin. I was not consistent in cutting out the pieces for my pads, and so some of them ended up being bigger or longer and wider, and then some of them are kind of short. And I would use the bigger ones at nighttime and the smaller ones during the daytime. Get into the construction of the pad. This pad has a pocket on it. So the material for the top pocket is the jersey material, and then 2 layers of cotton fabric. The layers of the actual pad itself are the jersey material, a layer of cotton fabric called Zorb, which is the main absorbency of this pad, and a waterproof layer called PUL to keep all of the pad from bleeding into your undergarments, and then a layer of cotton on the bottom. So this is a very thin pad. It doesn't feel bulky when you're wearing it, but at the same time offers a lot of layers of protection. So in total, the top pocket offers 3 layers of protection, and then the actual pad itself is also 3 layers of absorbency protection. So that's not including the PUL layer, which is a barrier of it passing through, or the cotton layer on the bottom, which is mostly there for aesthetically bringing the entire pad together. So total, this pad offers 6 layers of protection, even without an insert placed in this pad, which was plenty for me. I could be able to wear this during the daytime and not feel like my pad was getting overfilled or anything like this. So just to demonstrate what it looks like when you would snap the pad together, so you would fix this into your underwear, and then the bottom bits would snap together, kind of like how any pad with adhesive wings would stick to the underside of your underwear. This pad just snaps together on the bottom there, and there you go. That's what it would look like. This line sewn down the middle of the pad, and it's all the way across the actual pad itself, and that is so that the menses would kind of flow towards that line. So from the outside in, it would kind of go towards that line in the middle there. So again, this pad offers 6 layers of protection, even without an insert. So when I was wearing these pads at night, I would use one of my larger pads just to get more surface area, just in case there's a mess or a messy situation at night. And it's the same basic construction, it's just a little bit bigger. Whenever I was cutting out the pieces, I was inconsistent. So this pad has a pocket, which makes it so interesting and unique. This is the piece that would go into the pad pocket to add extra layers of protection. It's still very thin, and it's made of 3 layers: a top cotton layer, Zorb in the middle, and then a bottom cotton layer. So to get this to go into the pad, you would fold this piece over, and then stick the insert into one side of your pad, and this is much easier with 2 hands. Shimmy it in just a little bit, and then sticking your fingers into the other side of the pocket, pull the insert the rest of the way through the pad. And once you have the pad insert in there, you can get it kind of shifted around and settled into the right space for you. So this insert doesn't make the pad super bulky. It still feels so thin. This extra insert, while being folded over, adds 6 more layers of protection and absorbency for the pad. So originally the pad had 6 layers by itself, and then the insert is 3 layers, but when folded over, that doubles it. So 6 layers of protection from the insert and 6 layers of protection from the pad makes this super absorbent. It makes it 12 layers of protection and absorbency for you when you're sleeping, or if you just have a heavy flow when you're out and about. This is so helpful, not super bulky. If you change your pads frequently while you're out and about, or you have a job in which you have to be on the move a lot and need to keep up with changing your pad, you can purchase a wet bag to have in your purse so that you can stick these soiled pads into your wet bag to keep up with them and change into a new fresh pad. Clean my pads or maintain them so that they don't get so stained is this plastic container. I've just recently moved, and I used to have a much bigger one. This is a much smaller size than what I used to previously use, and I recommend the larger size for sure. It's almost double this, but this is good for just showing you how I used it. So I would fill this plastic container with water. I would fill it all the way up with water, not to where it's overflowing, but pretty close to the top with water. And then I would also place a cleaning solution in there. So that can be borax, just regular laundry detergent, or even color safe bleach. Whatever works for you, whatever you think is important to you, you can put that in the water so that way your pads can soak in this liquid and not be set with the stain. So when I would get home from school and work and different things like that, I would have this plastic container sitting by my toilet in my bathroom. And I would take the pads from the wet bag or the pad that I was wearing currently and place it into this water with the cleaning solution. So placing the soiled pad into the cleaning solution, the water with the cleaning solution, and letting that soak. So that way the stain does not set into your pad and it's remaining moist so that it can draw out the menses. Every day that I was going through my period, I would put my pads into this container and they were not just sitting with the stain. I would remove the inserts when putting them into the water. If you have a partner or you have children and you don't think that they would like to see a container that's like filled with menses water, you can cover this with a pillowcase. So at the end of the cycle, at the end of the period cycle, or the end of the week for you, I would pop off the lid and take all of the pads that were in there and the inserts. I would take all of those pads and inserts and dump them right into my washing machine. There's no need to separate the water. There's no need to try and pull them out. You can just go and dump all of the contents directly into the washing machine and wash it with some of your other intimates or personal items, and you're good to go. I did put these in the dryer, but you can also hang them in the sun to dry because the sun has bleaching qualities. The next thing I want to talk about are insertable options. Like I said, I was a pad girl. I was like convinced I was going to be pad girl for life. So that's a whole different story, and I can just like have a period story like video where I talk about my experiences when I got my first period, and then like my experience when I transitioned into insertable menstruation lifestyle. But needless to say, I transferred over to the insertables, and I've never used a tampon in my entire life, literally not once. That scared me, and I was like, no. So I use a Diva cup. I've heard a lot of like pros and cons of people that don't like the Diva cup, it irritates them, or people that do love the Diva Cup. The Diva Cup is just the first one that I tried. It was the most easily accessible for me given the situation that I was in. So that is the one that I purchased, and it's the one I use currently because it worked well enough that I didn't feel like I needed to purchase another one. But there are a lot of silicone menstruation cups options out there. Like, there are tons of different brands, there are tons of different styles because everyone's vaginal canal is shaped differently. I mean, everyone has pretty much the general same shape, but like the way things fit inside of you, the way you move, the way things like feel to you, that's all different. So yeah, there are menstrual cups that have longer nubs for you to pull them out. There are menstrual cups that have shorter nubs because that sometimes bothers people. There are menstrual cups that have like circular nubs, like a little ring to pull them out instead of like just a little stick on the end. There are menstrual cups with different shapes for different feels and different personal preferences. So yeah, do some research if you are interested in trying out that option but kind of don't feel like Diva Cup would work for you, or if you've had an experience with Diva Cup and didn't enjoy it, you don't necessarily have to give up there. So I'll show you my Diva Cup. It is not stained or anything, so it's not gonna be full of blood, so you don't have to like worry about that. No trigger warning here. But I will show you my Diva Cup, and I just have the one for before you had a baby because I've never had a child. So my Diva Cup is the like first generation of Diva Cup, the size 1.
So this is my Diva Cup, and how I take care of it when I'm actually menstruating, I will wash it with warm, gentle water every time I remove it to dump the contents. Use a lubrication when I'm inserting my Diva Cup for me to be comfortable with that process. So why my Diva Cup is sitting in a sunny window. I let my Diva Cup sit in a sunny window when I am not menstruating so that it can help alleviate some of the staining that might happen over the course of the period cycle. The sun has bleaching qualities, and it makes sure that my Diva Cup is never stained.
So for the people who menstruate that want to use tampons and would prefer a more natural option, there are like cardboard tampons. I don't know how like pleasant that would be to insert. I literally have never used a tampon, so that's something that you could do research on. I will try to find a few links and leave them in the description box for more like naturally oriented tampon options, but again, I've never used them, so please do your own research if you're really interested in that, and I have not provided enough diverse information for you in that area. Alright, so that was the menstruation station. You can get off here or all aboard if you are about to start menstruating. I'm done. I'm not menstruating currently in this video, so I'm not on the menstruation station. I was just giving the tour of menstruation station. Okay. Yeah, hope that was fun. Hope you learned something. Hope that you try some of these earth conscious, eco-friendly, less waste period options, or were interested in what I had to say. So this is a hard one for a lot of reasons, for a lot of people. Love yourself, okay? Love who you are on the inside. Love who you are, like what you're interested in, what you think about. Build yourself up. Like, you are the person that you spend the most time with, so be your own like fan base, you know? Like, you have got to love yourself because the world is very crushing. It's so debilitating, and it doesn't have to be. You can be around people who love you and make you feel validated and make you feel loved. That's important. Build your support system. But also, random people, like strangers, say things and they might trigger you, or they might upset you, or get inside of your mind and stay there like a seed, a weed that's just gonna like ruin all of your good vibes, and that's not cool. So love yourself. Yeah, you don't have to love your body. You don't have to love what it is. Like, you didn't get any choices there, and it's kind of unfair in terms of like everyone just being like, love your body. Like, what if you don't want to? What if it's not what you wanted? What if it is not how you feel positively about yourself? Let that go. Love parts of your body. So love that you're alive, love that your heart works, love that your feet get you moving, love that your teeth work and you're able to eat. Love that your fingers work so you can scroll on your phone or play your instruments, do art, rock climb, whatever. Love parts of your body if it's not easy for you to love all of yourself, all of your body, because you never asked for it. So why should you be grateful that you have this thing that you never asked for? And I don't want to get started on the whole conversation like, well, other people don't have it, so you should be grateful. Like, okay, that's comparing two different situations. We're not about comparison here. This is not a comparison channel. We're just talking about self-love, self-encouragement here. So start slow, start small, and love yourself. I love you. Have a good day.